Okay. I think we are live. Great. Okay. Hello, guys. I am so happy to see you today with us. My name is Anya Kroll, and I'm the freelance coach. And you are here with us in the Facebook group called Successful Freelancers and Entrepreneurs. And today we have our first live with a special guest. My guest is Juliana Rabi, an amazing girl from Brazil. And you are currently in Brazil, right?
Yes.
Yes,
I'm
home,
here.
home. Yes.
Yes.
So, Juliana, I met Juliana on the Nomad Cruise. For those of you who don't know what is a Nomad Cruise, is a cruise ship where digital nomads meet, connect, and share beautiful moments. And we met there, and I was fascinated by her knowledge about LinkedIn. So, Juliana is a career consultant who is specialized in LinkedIn. Juliana, welcome, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you. I'm super happy because this is my first live on Facebook. I have done a lot of lives on Instagram, but not on Facebook. So thanks for this opportunity. That's amazing.
Of course.
Amazing. So we met on Nomad Cruise and we spoke a lot there. And I told you about my story. So just to summarize that, I worked as a recruiter for more than 15 years. So I was born in Brazil, but I moved to Spain, 16 years already. Almost 16 years. And I worked all this time as a recruiter. So I was doing job interviews, I was supporting companies to get the right people there. And LinkedIn was one of the main tools that I was using to find the right candidates, to connect with them and all of that. And then I decided to change my personal career. So I went through a career transition myself and I quit my job. I stopped working as a recruiter and now I am on the other side of the story, as I like to say. So now I help candidates to find a job, to land a job faster, and I give them the right tools and consultants to do that. So I work with curriculum, with LinkedIn, with interview preparation, career consultant, and all of that. So LinkedIn is still one of the main tools I use, but now I am more open to it because I'm also a freelancer. I also need to attract my own clients, and I deal with people that are on the same page that I am now. People that are maybe traveling, they are starting their own business, or they want to do this career transition from a corporate job and they want to start attracting the right clients. So now I can say I have different perspectives of how LinkedIn can help people, not only as a candidate, which is maybe what most of people think, right? Yeah. LinkedIn is if you're looking for a job search, but it's not only that, it's still that. But B2B and B2C are really growing on LinkedIn, and there is a lot of opportunities there because it's not that much people that know about it and use the platform for that. So a lot of opportunities there.
Yeah, well, and more and more freelancers are using LinkedIn.
Yes.
But, yes. So I invited you as well for this talk because obviously I wanted to hear more and learn more about the LinkedIn. But as well, some of my clients are telling me when I'm telling them, okay, well, let's look for another social platform that may support your business, to get more sales. What about LinkedIn? And people are like, oh, no, I don't know. I don't think so. It's kind of scary. I don't want to maybe show up. I prefer Facebook, Instagram. It's easier maybe. Why people are just so scared of LinkedIn? What's going on there?
Yeah. That's a fact. I mean, that's a kind of ghost that people created about LinkedIn before they start using it. So most of people don't make this first step of I'm going to create my profile, or they do, but then they stop there. Okay, I have my profile. Am I done? No, you're not done. You just started. So first of all, I think it's here. We need to change our mentality, our approach, and understand that it's one more social media that is out there, and it might help us to attract the right clients. One of the things is that it's professional social media. So obviously you can attract clients from Facebook, from Instagram, even TikTok. Now, people said like the content is getting viral very fast and all of that. But if there is one social media that is by default associated with the professional area, is LinkedIn. So definitely you want to be there and make your mark. But we have this fear that I don't know what to say. I need to be serious. I need to, talk in a certain way. I cannot really show myself. And that's all wrong. I mean, you are the same person that is on Instagram, that is on Facebook, that is on LinkedIn, and hopefully the same person that is in front of your client. So there should be no surprise when people get to talk to you. They shouldn't be like, who are you? Like, you're so different than the one you showed on LinkedIn. It shouldn't be like that. It should be a reflection of your personality, the way you speak, like if you have accent, if you are not native on that language, if you dress like that, you should show the way you are on LinkedIn, and that will help you to attract the right kind of client, and also eliminate the ones that don't really want to connect with you. So I think it's a lot of fear that we have, and this professional thing puts an extra pressure that definitely doesn't need to be there. But I have to say that we can be a bit selective with the content that we post on LinkedIn. So sometimes I have an idea about a post, for example, and the same idea I use on Instagram, for example, and on Facebook, but I give a slightly change on the approach, on the emphasis that I give about the content, on the even the image that I post. Maybe on Instagram, I go for something more visual, and on LinkedIn, I might do a video about it. But it's still, once you have one idea that you consider that is relevant to your audience, to your clients, will add value, will position you as an expert, get that idea and transform it in, let's say, LinkedIn language, then Facebook language and Instagram language, but it's the same idea. It's the same value that you're going to add. So let's stop being afraid of LinkedIn. You see all kind of people there, like people that are so poor in their content, like so basic, and they are there and they have audience. So I know a lot of people that are really good professionals, but they're still afraid. And people who are there, they're not afraid, and they're just showing their face. So go there and start.
Yeah. One fear I noticed as well, because I work with people who are in transition. So they had another career, usually 9 to 5, very professional corporate life, and suddenly they are becoming freelancers, coaches, consultants, and they are struggling a lot with starting. Like, I really need to push them, right? And what is your because they are saying, like, what if these guys, like past employers will, judge us, will tell us that, she wants to be suddenly a coach, and she used to be somebody else, an architect, for example. And they are so scared to show this transition. They are so scared that something is inconsistent. I think this inconsistency is so old school that in the past, your CV needed to be super clear and shape. And if you had your 3 months as a bartender, you were so ashamed of that on your CV, right?
Yeah.
And then I don't know how about you, but I think, times are changing. And how do you show this transition on LinkedIn? Do you delete your account, or do you do the transition there?
Okay, don't delete your account, because you're going to start from zero. You're going to start with zero connection, zero contact, and your past is part of what you are. So people who knows you in your previous job, they might even be your client in the future, because they already know you, they already trust you, they know how you are professional. Okay, in a different era, but still, you cannot just cut all the connections you had with your past, because that's part of you also.
Exactly.
Yeah, show that, talk about it, and make this transition as smooth as possible. So first of all, make your peace with the fact that you change your career. So don't be ashamed of that, and don't hide it, because how are you going to attract clients if you're hiding what you have done before, or hiding from people that know you? What are you going to do? Delete your past and start making all new clients and friends? It doesn't work like that. You are the person.
We need to be proud of it, right? Like, I mean, like, we are who we are because of our past.
And that's part of you, So if you talk about it clearly, you might stop the doubt that people have, like the inconsistency that you have, like, who is she to be a coach right now? Talk about it. You can use, for example, the about on LinkedIn is one of the sections, is one of the first sections actually, and it's a blank space. So you can write whatever you want, as you want, in the order that you want. You can use some icons, some emojis, whatever. So talk about it. Talk that you made a career transition and now you are working as a coach. So if people would be thinking about, is she coming from a different area? Yes, I am. I'm telling you that. And then you stop talking about it and you talk about what you want to talk about, the new career, about the things you're doing now, about the things you want people to associate you with. But don't ignore what you have done. people will find out, and if you lie about it, then you're starting in the wrong way completely. And if people, when they scroll down your profile, there is the experience part, which is kind of low in the profile, so not everybody will get there. But mention, you can be very short about it. You don't need to go over details, but mention what you have done. Because if you leave a gap, like what this person have done from 2010 until 2019, nothing, that will be even more suspicious. So talk about your previous experience, but shortly, and put the emphasis and the content and engage with things related to your new profession. But we change professions, we change careers. I mean, that's a normal thing. Let's make
more and more often, right? Because we are looking for the things that make us happy. And I really like, because we were chatting before about your metaphor about the elephant.
Yeah, talk about the elephant in the room. That's exactly that. So instead of pretending, oh, I didn't change career, I'll never mention that, but what if people think about it? So if you think your potential clients will have a question in their mind, will be hesitating about hiring you for one reason, anticipate and talk about the elephant in the room. Say that clear. I was in the financial area for 10 years. I was not happy. I decided to change my life. I'm preparing. I want to help other people to change their life if they're not happy also. So it's like, this guy knows what he's talking about. I connect with him because I also want to make a career transition, and hey, he's the right person to do that. Obviously, some people will say, no, I want someone that has been in the area for 20 years. Okay, so this client won't be for you anyway. So don't worry about it. You're going to attract the right people. So talk about the elephant in the room. Talk about the things that your audience might be wondering and afraid. Show yourself, make a peace with your choices, and you start attracting people that resonates with you.
And the reality very often is like counterintuitive. Like people really like admire us. Well, people who are doing this transition, like you have the guts to change and you tell your story. It's even more interesting. Whenever I was a freelancer and I was telling like, I was doing this and this and that, and now I'm a project manager and I'm becoming a coach, people are like, wow, that is so cool.
It causes a positive impact. So we don't need to be afraid of that. It causes a good impact.
And we want to work with people who are exactly like that. We don't want to work with people who are judging us, on who we are. So,
and let me say one thing, because people have a tendency of hiding behind their LinkedIn profile because they think that it's this professional platform. So I need to show, I need to be always with makeup and looking good and all of that. I mean, you can put some makeup, but it won't hurt if in one video you don't have makeup. It doesn't hurt if you're not super dressed. Show yourself the way you are. And when you talk about the elephant in the room, when you talk about your career transition, your struggle, you know what happened, Anya? People connect more with you because they see that you are a human being. And like authentic, and like she understands me, because this thing, it's just like Instagram. Think about Instagram. When you see a profile with super perfect photos, Photoshop, and those like amazing woman, you think like, I'm not as amazing as that woman, so I don't connect with that. At some point, I might unfollow. Exactly, nothing common. So I might unfollow that account because it's not helping me, and it's also making me feel bad about it. So more and more people are going for real connections and people that really understand them. They can talk like in the same level. And on LinkedIn is the same thing. Obviously, you want to see the professional side of the person, and you want to see that apart from struggling with the career transition, she found a way to do that. So now she can help you. Definitely. You need to see the transformation. But understanding that I was struggling because I was in a different career is important for me to connect with you in a human level. And then I was like, she's the one I want to hire. And I think that applies to almost any kind of freelancers, if not all freelancers, but create this connection from the vulnerability, from the strength, from
showing up. And obviously on LinkedIn, you are not going to share a post about that you already just had a nice eggs Benedict and avo toast, I guess, like on Facebook. But
some people do.
Okay, well, that's fine. We are not judging, right?
Maybe you can make it better.
Exactly.
So your day-to-day, like also LinkedIn is starting with stories also, just like on Instagram. They are making a test with Brazil only, but it's going to expand. So there will be even the stories. So the platform is opening towards showing more the backstage of the scenes, how is your setup to record a live, and how is your office, and where you're commuting to work, and you just had a call with clients. So LinkedIn is changing towards let's be more spontaneous. Let's just get the camera and record something, just like Instagram. So there is this call for humanity and show ourselves the way we are.
And how the reality looks like. I'm following one guy. He's a marketer with a lot of followers, and he shows up a lot. And he said that the most engaging posts are about behind the scenes from his work. Like, people love the juicy reality, really, the raw.
There is this mix of gossiping and also like, oh, she's just human, or he's just a person, maybe he put the computer on the top of a pile of magazine. It's like, I do the same thing at home. So you connect with people. So I think finding a balance between showing the behind the scenes, show your vulnerability, and on the other side, show what you know. Show what you can do, show how you can help people. So that's already a lot of topics that you can talk about on LinkedIn. For those who are like, oh, I know what to post about. That's it. Behind the scenes and your expertise, you have already a lot of content.
We have some comments first one is like, you are so helpful and motivating with what you're saying. I'm making a transition from life science into translation and proofreading. Amazing. Another, Janina, she says, this is absolutely my fear, to show my former employers and that they will see my new career path. So I think like many people are experiencing that. But the question here, so many, I'm sure many of our listeners, and this was my situation, I would say, last year. I went on my LinkedIn profile. It was a ghost town, spooky town. Nothing was going on. And I heard people saying, this is going to be the platform if you want to get clients or if you want to like build your brand. And I was like, oh my God, what should I do? So
what should I do? What shall you do? First thing, let's understand that all social medias, they can work. Okay, some will work better for different areas, for different profiles and all of that. So we don't need to be fighting between, oh, now you're going to try to convince me that LinkedIn is the best one for, I don't need to convince anyone about anything. Like, I don't make money convincing people, but it's like, it's one more social media that you should try to understand what it can offer you. So what is on it for me and how can I benefit from it? So first of all, just get to know the platform a bit better to understand if your audience could be there, if you can, sell yourself through the platform and all of that. That's the first thing. But if you know already that, for example, Facebook works better for you, don't stop working with Facebook. It's not about that. It's about, if anything, adding one more social media that can add value and attract more clients to you. But don't give up on whatever is working already. Keep putting time and invest in it. That's the first thing. Apart from that, Google likes LinkedIn. That's another fact. So when people search for your name, and you can test it at home, search for your name and on Google and see what will appear more. So if you have a strong website with a lot of traffic and sale and all of that, probably your website will appear more. Maybe you were interviewed for a podcast or a video, whatever, that have a lot of audience. So you might have other links before that. But I can assure you that your LinkedIn profile will appear most likely on the first page on Google. What does it mean? That you might not be paying enough attention to it, but Google is. So we cannot ignore that. And people, when they, about the touch points, right? When they want to hire a freelancer, they will find you maybe in Upwork, maybe on Instagram, it doesn't matter where. But most likely they won't stop there. They're going to check you in other ways, in different social media. They are going to talk to people if they know someone that already hired yourself. But if they don't know, they're going to talk to the other social media available to investigate a bit more. Okay, so let me know this, Anya. Let me see what you have done. Let me see, if she's telling the truth. It's the same information is in other. So at some point, they will probably bump into your LinkedIn profile. So if whatever is there is not updated, not correct, like the case of Janina, for example, she's changing careers. So if her profile is only talking about the previous career, people will be confused about it. It's like, oh, she said she's a coach now, but only talk about finance here. So, it generates confusion on people. And we don't want to generate any confusion when people are trying to make the final decision about, shall I hire this person or not? So LinkedIn is something that Google is going to show very on the top of the first page. So you might pay attention to it.
And one comment here, because as well we mentioned that, and I noticed why I'm helping freelancers to find like projects and gigs, and many often potential clients are asking them to send a LinkedIn profile rather than CV, guys. So you better have this prepared at some point because it might be used as your virtual CV.
Yeah.
Curriculum.
And LinkedIn is not the same as a CV. That's also a common mistake. People think, oh, so I just copy and paste my curriculum there and that's it. Well, this is only the first part, but it's way more. So on LinkedIn, you can add, for example, links to your website, links to your portfolio, links to an interview that you have done. So there is a part on LinkedIn, it's called feature. So you can add the link, and it also show like in a small window an image of it. So even visually it causes a nice impact because it's not only text. So you can put the link and you can direct people to your website. If you say, you know what, I want to increase the visibility of my website, so I don't want to invest that much on LinkedIn. Okay, so put the link of your website there, and whoever finds you on LinkedIn will have an easy way to go to your website. So you can promote other social media also. You can guide people about what to do, because maybe they won't contact you via LinkedIn. A lot of people don't really use there is like a chat on LinkedIn when you are connected to the person, like a private message. But some people don't really know about it because they don't use the platform that often, or you send them a message on LinkedIn and then they just see 1 week later and then you already hired the person because you couldn't wait 1 week to get, your translation done, whatever. So the timing is important, but you can say that again in the about area. For example, you can be very clear about the call to action. So send me an email to know more about my services. Book a 15 minutes free call to go deeper into how I can help you, or follow me on Instagram. You can direct people from LinkedIn to another social media that is the one that you dedicate more time and that works better for you. But again, don't ignore that people will check your LinkedIn profile, at least to say like, let me see if this person exists. I personally, but probably that's because of my 15 years background in recruitment, if I don't find someone on LinkedIn, I'm very suspicious about that person. I'm always like, what is this person hiding? So I'm sure I'm not the only one with this suspicious idea if you're not on LinkedIn. Or also, for example,
question from the audience. I think the answer is yes, but maybe you can confirm. Does Google also show the articles you publish on LinkedIn? So can you find the articles like in the search? I think yes.
I think yes, but I don't know what is the order exactly. I don't know if it's if it's going to show an article first or maybe a post that you have more engagement. I don't really know how Google works for that, but I know that the link to your LinkedIn profile for sure. And then when people enter your profile, they're going to see your articles. Article is something interesting about LinkedIn because so there is this part on LinkedIn that you can post articles. Articles don't really drive a lot of traffic to your profile on LinkedIn for some reason. The algorithm is not, organized around article. But once people land in your profile, once they found you, or once they see your comment and they get curious and they go check you on your profile, the article builds a lot of credibility to your profile. Very few people write articles on LinkedIn. Again, I think it's this fear of, oh my goodness, who am I to write an article, right? I had this fear before my first article. I was like, what am I going to talk about? Like, who am I to write an article on LinkedIn? I was like, well, then I wrote the first one, the second one, the third one. And at some point it's like, well, I can even copy an article that I have. Some people do that because they want to still drive traffic to their website. So they post first on the website for the sale and all of that. And then they copy and paste the same article on LinkedIn. And at the bottom, they say, this article was posted initially on my website, blah, blah. So again, you are promoting people to your website. And for Google, it's going to be linked to your website if it makes more sense to you. So again, you don't need to create the wheel. Just copy that article that you already wrote for your website and copy there. But maybe people don't know your website yet. So posting it on LinkedIn, you're gonna, build the credibility with people that are on LinkedIn. So article is very good to build up credibility, to people start associating your name as a specialist in the area. And the other thing is that article stays in one specific area. So if people click an article, they can see all your articles. But the posts, just like in other social media, they keep going down when there is more content, so it kind of disappears.
Dynamic, very dynamic, right?
It disappears. So the article is one way to, it's stayed here. It's easy to find, and it's more in detail, so people can go deeper into what you do, your clients, and all of that. Yes.
Perfect. We just have a comment from Isaac. Very timely masterclass as I'm planning the pivot on my LinkedIn from digital advertising towards notary public signing agent. Nice. Saludos, Juliana Rabi.
Saludos, saludos. Yeah, the career transition, everybody there, please, let's make our peace with that. Like, it is going to happen to you most likely at any point of your life. We are working longer. We are not millennials, but younger people, they start even earlier than us. So it's okay to do that. And it's better if you tell your story and you explain your audience why you're changing, what you're going for, and build up your credibility in the new thing. Again, don't ignore the situation. Don't leave a gap on your curriculum or the experience part under there. Talk about it and keep talking more and more and more about the new thing that you want to be recognized for. So there was, I think it was Janina also saying that she's afraid that people in her current company or from her previous colleagues will see her in the new era. But the situation is, if you don't show yourself up there, if you don't start marketing yourself as, look, this is what I'm doing now, how people are going to know it? So I know it's complicated at the beginning and we might have this imposter syndrome, right? Like, who am I?
Oh my God.
They're going to laugh. Like, I'm just starting. They know I'm beginning, all of that. And I mean, everybody starts like that. There is no other way to start.
Yeah.
But you have to start telling yourself that you know the stuff before people understand that you know the stuff. Like, this LinkedIn thing is very funny. Like, I was always working with LinkedIn, but at some point people started saying that I was a LinkedIn expert. And at the beginning I was like, wow, it sounds so heavy. Like, am I a LinkedIn expert? But it was like, people started saying that. And suddenly I kind of am. But it's like, if you force the thing, it won't happen. But you have to start saying, I'm a LinkedIn expert, because otherwise nobody will talk to you about LinkedIn. So it's a kind of both ways. Start talking about the new content, post things about it, comment on contents related to that topic. So with time, people will start forgetting that you were in another area and associating you with the new, but you got to start. If you don't start talking about the new business, you won't attract clients for that. That's the way it works.
Completely agree. Okay, let's come back to the 3 steps, 3 pillars. Yes. That are important in order to, get into LinkedIn a little bit more. Yeah. So for people who are just starting, or for people who started, but they are confused, they are like, oh my God, so many things. Like, Juliana, tell us step by step where to look at.
I like to say that there are 3 main pillars on LinkedIn. There's 3 bases to make your LinkedIn profile work. So the first thing is the profile itself. So my mom always say that first you should clean the house and organize everything. And then after you start inviting people to the house. So let's clean up the profile. And what I mean by that is, first, make sure it is updated and accurate. So especially if you're in a career transition, or even if you're not in a career transition, but you want to test a new product, you want to talk to a different audience, you want to attract new clients with a new profile, you need to talk about it. So people, when they find your profile, they will understand what you serve, which services you provide, which kind of people is your ideal client. So you need to talk about it, make sure it is accurate and not talking about the previous client, the previous project, the previous company and all of that. Also take care about the appearance of the profile, because again, people might have the first contact with you on your LinkedIn profile. So even if it's not your stronger platform, make sure, for example, your profile photo is recent. It's not like when I had longer hair and I was blonde. I mean, I was never blonde, but anyway, if I had longer hair and then on the photo, they see that, and then we go on a Zoom call and they see this hair, they're like, who are you? So build trust.
Or there is no photo. And I for me, like, if I'm suspicious while somebody is not giving a photo. I'm like,
but that's everybody. Yeah.
Where's this person behind this icon, like hiding,
Exactly. Or some people don't put a photo at all. It's like, oh, I need to update my photo. So in the meantime, I don't put anything. No, on LinkedIn, you must have a profile photo. CV is a bit different. Some countries are really going towards like not putting CV because it might lead to discrimination and all of that. But on your LinkedIn profile, even the platform, it says like there are some studies like people will connect, I think, 20 more times with you if you have a profile photo. So profile photo is that round one with your face, like this upper part. And there is another very important photo, which is the background photo, that longer one, rectangular one that comes on the back. Why is it important, that photo? Because it's the first visual impact that people will have when they arrive in your profile. So images, they go to our mind without us processing too much, but it's already an impact, a good impact or a bad impact. So you want to take care of that. There is that blue, as I say, boring blue that comes by default. So just the fact that you change that, you're already differentiating yourself from people. You're already causing an impact, because most of people not even know they can change that blue boring thing. So the fact that you change, it's already like, oh, it calls attention, right? It's colors, it's shapes, and all of that. And when you do that, choose a photo or something that is related to what you do. So even in an unconscious way, people get a glance of what you do. So if you work with people, put something like that. If you work with, I don't know, translation, someone mentioned an example, put some words, whatever. So make people kind of understand, or at least get curious about you, just by those two photos that we'll see, because that's the first thing. Before they decide to scroll down your profile, image. So take care of the appearance that you're giving to your profile.
Yeah. And I completely agree. I many often work with freelancers who use Upwork to get clients, and they are like, the profile photo needs to be there in order to set up a profile, but the pictures are terrible. It's like in the shadow somewhere. I can't see a face. It's like first subconscious impression. I'm sorry, but it is, people subconsciously judge you, and it's not that you have to have a super photo shooting, but smiley and light on you, because if you are in the shadow, somebody would think that you are, have a lot of shadows in your body, in your mind, and you don't want to, like, if somebody is smiling subconsciously, you're like, okay,
he's a nice person, I'm not afraid to talk to her. And also, it's like, maybe you don't judge people, but people will judge your image. So it is about the first impression that you make. And studies say that you, a recruiter or someone that is checking your profile for the first time, will spend six seconds only taking this quick glance to decide if they want to scroll down and keep reading. So 6 seconds, it's nothing, it's unfair, I don't like it, but it is what it is. So let's use the information and make the most of it. Just put a photo that represents yourself. And also, some people are like, shall I be super formal on the photo? Men are like, shall I put a suit and all of that? It depends. Like, do you normally work with a suit? Well, no, I'm more informal. So be yourself there. So you can be a little bit more, some makeup and a jacket, whatever, but you don't need to be extra formal, or you don't need to force to be informal if you are not. It's like, Julian, I always use a jacket. So put your jacket on the photo. So let people have the impression that they know you when they when they see your photo. So when they talk to you, they're going to have this feeling like, yeah, she's just like the photo. Yeah. And then your content will be aligned with that, hopefully. When you post a video, when you write something, the way you express yourself should be all aligned. But if you put a super formal photo, and then when you write a comment, you are super informal using slangs, it's like there is some confusion here. So the profile should be true. That's the first thing. So don't lie about it. That's what you should be worried about. Not about career transition, all of that, but don't lie on the profile, because you lose your credibility immediately. Make sure it is completed. Make sure it is accurate. Use the about. I love this area, the about and the headline. So let's start with the headline, because it comes first. First thing people will see is the background photo, then the round photo, which is the profile photo, and right under your name. You can also change your name. Some people have like 2 family names, but they don't like one for some reason, or everybody knows them with a shorter name. So you can change that. There is no problem. Just put the name that people know you. It's fine. And then right under the name, there is the headline. So it's space. You can use 120 characters. And that's one of the most important parts of your profile. So every time you comment a post, or every time people land in your profile, they're going to see first this part, including the headline. So make sure you use the right keywords. Make sure you talk about what you want to do. Forget about the past. I'm not working in that anymore. So you don't need to state your previous company. You don't need to state your previous job position. You don't need to say even a title. So it's like, okay, my job title doesn't really explain what I do. So talk in a clear way. Think about what people will search when they want to hire me. So maybe there is a technical term that explains, but go easy. Let people find you easily.
And many often people are actually leaving their like past titles, right? Because they don't even know that they can edit.
It comes by default. If you don't change, by default, LinkedIn is gonna pull the information, your last job title, last or current job title and company, and it's going to put it there. So people not even know they can change. And then you're already doing the coaching or the freelancer for months. And because you didn't update the profile, it's not there. And then it's the previous company. So it's a mess. And people never.
You are still medical doctor.
Exactly. So use the headline. I mean, you can go as crazy as you want with the headline, but the easy way is to put keywords. You can separate with a bar, but put like the keywords that people will think about when they want to hire you. And then if you want to elaborate more, there are ways to make it more impressive, like what I do, for whom, and how. Add some numbers that might create an impact. Add some funny thing about yourself if you're comfortable with that. I don't know, dog lover, father of four, because of the personal touch that we said before, it really engages a lot. But if you want to start, let's not overcomplicate. Keywords that are related to what you do. Maybe you have a specific course or a software that you use that is like a big differential for you. Go for it. Maybe the language you speak, someone said about translator, if you're a translator. So go for the
industry or niche, for example. You are working
for niche,
specifically for, I don't know, like the real estate agents or for mom entrepreneurs. Like whatever is your niche,
exactly. And if you can add the how or a slightly touch about how do you do it, like what differentiates you, even better. But to start with, keywords will already attract the right people. So headline is very important. And then the about, that's what I said. You can talk about the elephant in the room, but you can talk about anything. That's your place to storytelling. Tell your story. Tell what you do. You can choose the order that you present the information. You can talk about your achievements. You can put comments that clients gave about your kind of feedback from the client, short one, copy paste. You received the great feedback in Upwork. Copy one phrase and place it, what people say about me, and copy that, because that's social validation. It's not only me. I'm good. I'm this. No, people are saying that I am also that. So you can put achievement. If you work with powerful clients that people know, like a company that is a big, go for it. If you work for your, husband in a small bakery shop, nobody knows it, so it won't add any value. But if you had a strong client that confidentiality won't be a problem, mention it. So you start associating your name with, if she works for Pepsi, she might be good. So, it gives you credibility, but just do it if the companies are strong and with a good reputation. But it's a resource that you can use also. Also very important, the call to action. So tell people what they should do after they read your LinkedIn profile. Sometimes I read great profiles and at the end I'm like, okay, next. It's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to contact with that person.
Exactly. I completely agree. This is just a quickly, like, this is what I'm always teaching my clients: call to action. Tell what is the next logical step for the reader to do, because they might say, oh, nice profile. Well, I will do something else, right? Rather than contact me. Okay, I will just quickly write an information like, hi, I would like to talk to you. I like your article. I want to connect, right?
Yeah. Make it easy for people. Don't assume that people will go on Google and search for your website. Put it there. Add the link to your website. In the about, you cannot add link, but people can, copy and paste and find you. But make it easy for people. And also, as I said, if you want to grow your audience on Instagram, for example, you can put it there. Follow me on Instagram. It doesn't matter. You can direct people to another social media, but please guide your potential client. Otherwise, they might, I loved her, but that's it. I'm going for the next one. So that's the first pillar. The profile, it should be complete, it should be accurate, it should reflect the reality about you, okay? That's the first pillar.
Quick question. Maybe it's important as well to mention that we can edit the URL of our profile.
Yes. URL is the link that people will click to find you. So to go to your profile, right? So by default, normally gets your first name and your second name, and then some numbers and letters that comes by default, which looks terrible when you send that to someone, when you add that in your curriculum, whatever. So you can click, you enter in your profile, there is an option, edit URL, and then you just remove those numbers. You can, my suggestion is that you keep your name, because people might search for your name. That's a logical way to try to find you. But if you have space, because there is also, it's like 30 characters, so it's not that many. But if you can put like career coach or translator or sales or manager, try to put a keyword that is also related to what you do, to your niche and all of that. That will also help increase when people search for you or for that word, your profile might appear. But I would say keep your name, because that's something that goes with you forever, right?
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah. Second pillar, super important. It's kind of like the heart of LinkedIn. It's engagement. And I think, I'm not an expert in the other social media, but I think engagement is what makes any social media grow and give you visibility and all of that. So with LinkedIn, there is nothing new about it. It's the same thing. So engaging in the platform. What happens a lot on LinkedIn, also in other social media, is that a lot of people is passive. So they have the profile, they are there, but they are just like that, scrolling down and watching what other people are posting, watching others' content and all of that, which is great, because otherwise you're going to be talking, nobody's going to listen. So we need followers. But if you want to be a successful freelancer, if you want to create a reputation about your name, if you want to attract people and visibility, you need to stop being passive and start being active. And what do I mean by active? Using the platform. Using is not connecting the scroll down. This is not the use I'm talking about. I'm talking about, for example, comment on other people's posts. That's the easiest way. So I always suggest my clients to do that, because you don't need to have the idea about what to post, because that's when people get stuck, like, Juliana, I don't know what to post. Like, what should I talk about? Don't worry about it yet. Get the rhythm of commenting posts. And when I say get the rhythm, I say block 20 minutes in your agenda every day or every 2 days to, first of all, find relevant topics, because you don't want to comment about things that are not related to your niche, to your clients, to your expertise. Don't go all crazy about coronavirus if you're not a doctor or a virologist, you know? We all have something to say about coronavirus, but like, do you want to associate your name, your credibility with that? So of course you have your opinion, and it's good that you have, but on LinkedIn, be strategic and engage on posts that are related to your audience. I normally suggest 3 or 4 topics that you should choose, and you're going to engage on those topics only, and then you go deep. Why those topics? Because you know about them. Obviously, you're gonna do something that you are an expert. You already have the background. Yes.
Can we give a nice example of maybe your profile as a career consultant? What would be like your 4 topics that you would?
Okay. Career, curriculum, LinkedIn, and interview preparation. Yeah. I basically talk about those 4 things. Yeah. Okay. So obviously what I talk is slightly different depending on the kind of post, but I won't be talking about politics in Brazil, for example. I have my opinion, but on LinkedIn, I'm going to talk about a CV, about a candidate that was fired, and how Airbnb is handling the situation. So related to my expertise. Why is that? Because I want people to associate my name with those things. And it takes time, okay? And it's not magic. Unfortunately, I'm still searching for the magic formula. You do ABC, and in 15 days, you get 10 new clients via LinkedIn. When I discover that, we do another live, and I'm going to sell it for a very high price. But so far, no. So it is a consistent attitude and behavior towards the platform, and towards choosing what you want to do, and the kind of content, and how you add value to people. So
and just to add up, building visibility and credibility, it's something very valuable, guys, and it takes time, because valuable things that really matter, they take time. So be patient with that. Be patient, and just think maybe first, before you actually jump in this path that you are changing, this new transition, like, am I seeing myself working there in 5 to 10 years? If yes, then go for it. If not, then think about if you want to really write about this particular thing for the next few years. Yeah. And be patient for that. That's for sure.
Yeah. But another thing which is good about LinkedIn is that because it is a professional platform, the mindset of whoever is on LinkedIn is, I have a problem. I need to find a solution for my problem. So while we are on Instagram, we are just like, oh, I had a stressful day. I want to see beautiful people. I want to gossip about that artist that I like. I want to see what my friend did on her birthday. This is the mindset for Instagram. And for Facebook, kind of, there are the groups that are very active, but it's more like a relaxing thing. You don't want to overcomplicate things when you go on Instagram. It's like, I want to relax. I want to disconnect. Right? That's the thing. If you speak very complicated, it might not work. Depend on your niche and all of that. But in general, it's a more relaxed approach, like even laying down on the couch with your phone and all of that. That's the mindset when you go on Instagram and Facebook most of the time. But when you go on LinkedIn, your mindset is, I have a problem. I need to find a solution for it. So decisions are taken way faster because you don't want to be spending your time there if you're not doing something useful, And when you go there, you want to show some things that you probably don't show on other social media. So it's very specific, the mindset, which helps everybody there because it cuts a bit the bullshit. It's still a lot of bullshit. Still people posting about their brunch and all of that. But in general, there is like a filter towards, I have this problem. Are you going to help me? You. So people are more willing to connect. I receive a lot of direct messages and people, they have no shame to say, hey, I'm looking for a job. Can you help me? I'm like, I don't even know you. Like, hi, how are you? It's a wrong approach. But what I want to say is that people are not afraid to reach others on LinkedIn because you can connect the CEO of the company you are, applying to work for and all of that. And it's like you have access to those people. I remember before it was like, oh my goodness, who is the guy that is going to be my future boss? And if I do this project with him and I am going to do an interview, I have no idea who is the person. Now you can have this idea even before you apply for that work, for that gig, So you have access to a lot of people on LinkedIn, and people have this mindset. I want to look for a solution. So if you see that you're a good fit, people might just write you, people that you have never heard about. So the action is faster than in other social media, but it all comes with the engagement. It's like basic marketing stuff, right? If nobody knows you, you know the steps, like know you, and then trust you, and then eventually buy you. So how do people get to know you on LinkedIn? Engaging. Show in your face. It's like do the networking online, and people are like, oh, I was never very good on networking person. How do I do that online? You comment. That's it. If you were, if you could be networking events physically, you would have your drink and it would be hi, nice weather. Right? The same thing you do on LinkedIn, but just be a little bit more intentional and just don't say. That's another mistake people say. Good, nice. I mean, better than nothing, but if you have something to say, heart, like a smiley face, okay, that's better than nothing. But if you have something to say, go further. Because remember, what you want is to build up credibility. You want people to see you as an expert. So if you just, you just see that. But why did you like that post?
What does it mean?
Why
does it mean?
That it does exactly. So it's a way to show yourself. Be intentional. Select the topics. So that's why I said that. If you know what you're doing there, if you select the kind of content, the kind of topics you want to be recognized for, when you see something that resonates with you, go deeper. Add value. Share an example. Bring a real case. Talk about your opinion. Add something. A lot of posts, they finish like that. Would you add something? Go there and add something, but not from a point of view of I know more than you, because the tone will be noticed. That from a point of view of I like your post. I normally say that in all my comments. Congratulations for the post. Nice post. Amazing point of view. I totally agree. Well said. Say that, because then you create a nice relationship with whoever posted the post. You're not like say I'm better than you. Oh no, forget about this. Just hire me, whatever. No, but if you're talking about something that your clients need, your clients are looking for, it's a nice place to jump and show your face in a nice way. But it's a topic that you want to talk about.
there's another way, but probably there are so many ways to engage, but sharing somebody else's content. And for me, like when somebody shares once in a while my content, tagging me and saying like a very valuable and interesting comment, I'm like, oh my God, I love this person.
Right?
I love this person.
It's so easy to make that. Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Just be careful with what you share. Again, is it aligned with your audience? Does it add value to your audience? Because maybe you're pleasing the writer, but not your audience. So we need to find the balance. But if it is someone that is kind of an influencer in your area, in your sector, associate your name with that person. You know, how cool is that, that you're sharing a post of a super experienced coach? So people will like, oh, Anya is, you know, together with that person somehow. So you associate your name, just like when you mention an important client, people are like, wow, it brings you more credibility automatically. Associate your name with key people in your industry, share their content, but add a comment. That's also what you said, right? If you just click share, okay, but it's just like, why did you share that? Why did you find it relevant? Yeah. And you go deeper into the relationship with the person that you're sharing the post, because the person will be notified. Anya shared this post. So take the chance to show yourself. So the way to engage, the easiest way is to comment and share content that is already there. Also be strategic, choose the content that your clients will be reading. So in my case, like if there is a post about career change, I know that who is commenting those posts are or career coaches or people that are going through the career change. So I want to jump there and I want to plant my seed. And when I do that, that's my experience. I get a lot of people that go and check my profile, because if they like what I say, it's like, oh, she knows a bit about it. Like, oh, who is this girl? So they check my profile. That's why it should be clean and organized and updated and professional, all of that. They might send me a connection request. I can see who checked my profile. So if they visit me, but they didn't send me the connection request, I can go there and send them a connection request. I mean, why not? And they might hire me, even if it was another career coach that was talking about it, because for some reason they connected more with me, or they went to my profile without high expectations, but then they really like the content there, or they see the link to my YouTube channel. You know, it's like you can't control things. So be strategic about the comment and the sharing, but it gives you a lot of visibility. So engagement is the second important part. And then the third, the third is producing content. Creating your own content, which I understand that is more difficult for some people, and we are more afraid, and I don't know what to say, blah, blah, blah. So that's why I said to start with commenting other people's content. But again, if you already have your blog and you have one article, just copy and paste your article on LinkedIn and say that. This article was initially posted on my website. This is my website. For more articles, check me there. So start posting something. Even like a paragraph of an article, it can be a post. So you copy that paragraph, you write a bit more about it. Talk about projects that you have done recently. Talk about how you got your new client. Maybe you don't want to mention the name because it's just the current client, but talk about the process. How did you attract that client? Talk about, introduce yourself, especially if you're new in the platform. Talk about what you do, which kind of clients you serve. Talk about a result you got from your previous client and how happy he was with that. So share what you do, and step by step, you start creating credibility. But again, if you don't talk about it, people won't know.
One thing that I noticed from my own experience, since I'm using like LinkedIn since last year a little bit more, asking questions, people, you know, like you are getting not only like you produce some kind of content, you can write some introduction and then ask people, hey guys, how is it with you? How did it go with you? And you are not only producing a content, but also influence other people and get more engagement.
Yeah, exactly. This could be your call to action at the bottom of each post that you create. Exactly. Same idea. Because sometimes we read a nice post or a nice article and we are like, okay, that's it. I go to another thing. But if you engage with people and if you ask, do you agree? Do you have something to add? How was your experience? Have you ever faced something like that? So people think about it longer than they just jump into another post or another thing. And they might even comment. And the good thing about when people comment your content is that the algorithm we understand that that content is good. Especially, I don't know if people know about it, but the first hour on LinkedIn is the key hour when you produce something. So if you post a content, you post a post, whatever, a video, let's say 9 a.m. So from 9 to 10 a.m., LinkedIn is like that. Let me see. Yeah. So the first hour is what will define if that content will be shown to more people or if it's going to disappear on the cloud. So be strategic also about when you post. When I'm talking about time and date also, especially if you are starting, don't go there and post on Saturday night because people might be doing other things on Saturday night. If you're already an influencer, I've seen posts on weekends that are like super viral, but I mean, they are in another level, not in our level. So don't go all crazy and post your best article on Sunday, 9 a.m. because it might be only you on LinkedIn, So you need to build up an audience big enough that especially if it is international, at some point it won't really matter what time you post because there will be always some followers awake and working at that time. But if you're starting, think about your main target audience, your future clients, people that you work with. Where are they? Where physically located?
Time zone.
Time zone, and what time is it there? So is it the time that people will be checking LinkedIn or not? If not, wait and post it earlier or later and all of that. And the funny thing is that studies shows that people check LinkedIn, for example, when we used to go to work, right? On the way to work, like on the public transportation, all of that. So most of people start working at 9 or 8:30, something like that. So let's say from 8 to 9 a.m. is a good time to post that. At the lunch break, also, let's say between 12 and 2, 12, 1, something. And when they just leave the office around 6, those are good times because people that work in the office, they are not dependent on the kind of job they do, but they are not supposed to be on LinkedIn, they are doing other things. But now that we are everybody working from home. The peaks of using LinkedIn is changing. So it's kind of spread. Now it's kind of all over the day and all of that. Also, I read an article that it used to be way more access through the phone to LinkedIn, because especially you are in the office, and then you go now because everybody, like my boss not seeing me, but now because everybody is working with the laptop at home, the number of people accessing LinkedIn on the laptop, on the desktop increased a lot. I think that's a bit temporal, but also think about it when you post something. So if you write a very long post all together, like a block of text without any period, without any break, people will be checking it here. So it's going to be hard to read. It's like, oh my God, that's too much. People will skip. So make your post and your content attractive to people. So use some capital letters, some spaces. You can copy emojis, like on WhatsApp, this kind of thing. So you copy and paste, and that brings more dynamic to the post. So make visual. Remember that people mainly will check LinkedIn on mobile phone on normal circumstances. So make it attractive and the call to action.
Question. A couple of times you mentioned algorithm, and I know that this is something that some of people, they're like, what? Some of people, they're like, I just don't know what these algorithms are doing with our social media. Is there any way to, especially Instagram, Facebook? Well, there is an algorithm on LinkedIn, and it's supposed to be a little bit easier to figure it out. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. How can you look at this?
It keeps changing. It keeps changing. So any algorithm, as soon as we discover it, it changed. So LinkedIn just changed recently also. I think it was the link to the article, something like that. Anyway, algorithms, they change. That's what they are for. When you think you understood, they change. That applies for Google, that applies for Instagram, a lot of that. That said, still there are some things that still work better than others on LinkedIn. First is the lives. Okay, lives on LinkedIn. Actually, first the stories that, as I mentioned before, they're doing like a beta test only in Brazil for that. So stories is something that is brand new, and it's only available in one country. So it's always a new feature is the thing that is booming more. So right now is the stories, but it's only available at the moment in Brazil. The idea is to spread it to all the countries. But so First thing would be stories. Second thing is the lives. Okay, so Facebook also allows you to do some lives. It's not for everybody, so you need to you need to request an authorization, fill up a form. They are gonna evaluate if your profile matches whatever criterion they have, and then they authorize you, they give you access. But that's also for a few people. After that, the thing that engages more, that gives you more visibility, is videos. Okay, so videos is still something that is working fine. Videos, native videos, okay? That's important to say. When I say native video, I mean the one that you recorded on your phone, or you uploaded, not a link to external platform. If you add a link to your YouTube channel, no, because LinkedIn doesn't want to remove people from their platform, for the platform, and bring people to YouTube or bring people to whatever website. So be careful with that, because if you add an external link, although it is a video, the algorithm won't like, because you're removing people from there. So native video, or the one you download and you upload as if it was your own video. That's the third thing. After live, stories, live, then video. After that, posts with text and photo together. Text and photo, not only text. Again, there are posts with only text that perform super great, but probably they have 40,000 followers, and then whatever you put, there will be always 3,000 people that in 1 hour you click like. So be realistic. If you're just starting, just understand a bit about the algorithm, and if you can add a photo, it's going to perform better by default than if you add on the text. And this photo, if it is with some human face, some human touch, it's better than just like a hand or a computer or a living room, this kind of thing.
Or
exactly. Like again, we like to be we like to connect with people, and behind every LinkedIn platform there is a person. So the more we see who is Anya and how she looks like and how she dressed, this builds an image about you, and also like, okay, I like her style, or I don't like her style, I don't want to work with her. So it's a way of showing yourself and start attracting the right people to you. So images with human face, it doesn't need to be your face all the time, but can be someone else, it also performs better. And then after that would be posts with only text, that again, they can perform well, but it needs to be like really strong text. And remember that every time you post will appear the first 3 lines and then view more. Right? So you should be also strategic and use like a hook, something that people feel like, oh, I want to keep reading, I'm going to click in the view more, because if they don't click in view more, it won't count as if the post was read.
Something like controversial, like, oh, you don't want to make money, right? And you're like, of course I want. Clicking.
Or the 3 steps to be successful on LinkedIn are. I want to know that. So I click view more, and then people read your article. So play a bit with that. That's legitimate. That's what people do. And that's the space you have. 3 lines. And then after that will be the other thing. So basically that. Live, stories, video, text with photo, and then only text.
What about hashtags?
Hashtags. Hashtags work, as far as I know, except on Facebook. In all the other social media, hashtag is a strong thing. It keeps changing. I think on Instagram, it used to be like up to 30. Now it's up to 10. So again, the algorithm plays a bit with us. When we think we know the stuff, then it changes. But on LinkedIn so far, it should be up to 3 hashtags. Okay. And what the hashtag does is that it puts on a group content related to one specific topic. So if I use hashtag freelancer, everyone that uses the hashtag freelancer will be allocated in a kind of folder. So if I search for hashtag freelancer, which is different than hashtag freelancers, that's a totally different one. So also when you want to add something, check how many people are on that, because sometimes because an S at the end, it changes completely. One group can have 4,000 people, the other group can have 40,000 people. So it changes a lot. So choose the right hashtag. And if what you post is related to that, add that hashtag in your post. Why is that? Because when people search, in the search bar on the upper left side, they can search for names, they can search for jobs, they can also search for hashtags. So you just write hashtag freelancer and you click search, and then you're going to go to the hashtag freelancer feed or part, and then you're going to see all the posts that people use that freelancer hashtag. That gives you a lot of visibility. So if this is a topic for you, go there. That's a nice way to find relevant content. Like, okay, Juliana, I know I need to post. I understood about the engagement, but where do I find relevant content? Where? On the hashtags. That's a great way. So in theory, there will be relevant topics. In theory, because you're going to see all kind of mess and bullshit there also. So again, use your criterion to choose out of the. It's not just because it is freelancer that you want to comment about it. Maybe the content is not good, so you need to judge what you are going to associate your name with. But already you have a big filter, and it's something related to freelancers. So go there, identify the contents, comment, identify people who are producing those kind of contents. They might be willing to hire freelancer. They might be looking for a partner for a project. So probably it's people that somehow are related to that topic, and choose a bit the topics, because if you 100% of the time only use hashtag freelancer, it's good, but at a certain point you're limiting yourself to people who follow that hashtag. So play with the freelancers, for example, with the S, play with, I don't know, entrepreneurs, play with a synonym or something for your niche. Play a bit with that and also adjust to the context. Because if you're talking about, I don't know, a client experience, I know you're a freelancer, but maybe you want to use customer satisfaction, client experience, and exceed expectations. I don't know if those hashtags exist, but I know you are a freelancer, but try to adjust the hashtag to the topic you are talking about in that post, in that video, to make it even more relevant. Because otherwise people see the freelancer and you're not talking about it, so it's kind of off. I don't like this post, I don't like this girl. So make it relevant to your content and play a bit. And the more hashtags, you don't want to use 20 different hashtags, because again, it's confusing for people. It's like, oh, she talks about coronavirus, she talks about clients, she talks about freelancer. What is she talking about? Nothing. So choose the areas, as I said before, your 3 or 4 main areas, but under those areas, you can vary a little bit on the hashtag. Some people even create their own hashtag, and they like to always add their hashtag. It's an option also. But if you don't have followers, nobody will see that. So.
Okay, we are slowly wrapping up. So just to summarize, it was just 1 hour of amazing content. Like, guys, if you are just starting with LinkedIn, or if you want to just refresh it, as you heard from Juliana, it's about profile, it's about engagement, it's about creating content, and very, very important as well question, I would say. Hello. Did we lose you or me? Hello? Juliana? I think she disappeared. Hello? Okay, so Juliana disappeared for a while, guys. I don't know where she is, but just to summarize, as I said, so we are looking at our profile. That's the most important. We are looking at our picture. We are looking at our background picture. We are looking at our about, yes, and we are not scared to show this transition. This is really important. Then we are looking to engage with people. We are looking to connect with them. We are looking then to create content ourselves. Yeah, so it doesn't have to be something really big. It doesn't have to be article at the beginning. It's okay to share an article. It's okay to comment this article and to engage with people. Yeah, commenting, sharing, and the hashtags. Yeah. This is really important. I am going to check again with Juliana if she's going to join us for the last questions. Otherwise, guys, do you have any questions? Oh, thank you. We can hear. Okay, you can hear me. That's great. Some people are already clearing and cleaning and organizing their LinkedIn. I'm so thankful, guys, that you are here. We are so many people. And as you know, internet, it's sometimes really, really tricky. I would encourage you, if I were you, and this is what I did using LinkedIn, and I decided that it will be my supporting platform for my own business. I was spending around 20 to 30 minutes every day engaging with people on LinkedIn. I was connecting with 20 people a day. Some of them were coming back, some of them not, but because of this ball that I started to roll, other people were connecting with me. Yeah, and we were supposed to talk with Juliana about how to connect with people on as finishing today's webinar, as to how to connect with people in a meaningful way. Oh, Juliana is writing that she got kicked out. Okay, so what is important is that you never start a conversation with a person by immediately promoting your service, yeah? Or if you want something, like give me a job, you don't say that. Work with me, and people are sending million links, and I'm just like, why would I even open it and spend my time if I don't know you? Yeah, I wouldn't do it, and you wouldn't do it as well. So we genuinely, naturally, with curiosity, connecting with people as you would do it when you meet somebody in a networking event. Yeah, you will introduce yourself, you will ask how they are, where they are from, what they are doing, you know, just really natural connection, because as well, I think it's important right now more and more that people want to know us, and we want to know people. We don't want to sell them immediately, because it will not work. It will be really, really tricky to do it. So guys, LinkedIn, as you see, it's a really good platform, and nobody's judging there anybody. It's really cool to show your transition. If you want to change something in your life, it takes courage. You are showing that you are super brave, and I did it myself. You know, I was a freelancer, then I leveled up to a coach, to a career coach, to a freelance coach, and I was telling my stories, and I was not afraid if somebody was going to judge me or not, because if they do, well, then probably they have too much time, losing their time thinking about somebody else's business, right? So thank you so much. Thank you, Juliana. Thank you, my amazing community, successful freelancers and entrepreneurs. And see you next week. We are going to talk about how to create a healthy habits connected with your finances, and how to think and manage your money. Thank you so much, guys, and see you soon. Bye-bye.